Narrated Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, when a woman gives in charity some of the foodstuff which she has in her house, without spoiling it, she will receive the reward for what she has spent, and her husband will receive the reward because of his earning, and the storekeeper will also have a reward similar to it. The reward of one will not decrease the reward of the others. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, what I really like about this hadith that was narrated from Aisha by the Prophet, peace be upon him, is that it highlights the importance of foodstuff charity. There's a lot of people who need it. And food banks keep so many children fed. Now, I've never been on welfare or SNAP EBT. My mom was on it and I lived with her. I worked and bought groceries. I do, though, however, utilize food banks. And people who give to the food banks, may Allah reward them with good, because they help a lot of children during these tough times economically. And I recall one travel vlogger, he would buy a woman's, like, she said, has a basket of pastries. He buys the whole thing and then disperses it amongst the people and tells her she can go home for the day. And so when you do these charitable acts with food, it also warms people's hearts towards Islam and helps people to see that there's good in giving food. Now, contrast that with people who mocked those who were worried about their food stamps during the government shutdown. The MAGA-tardian Christians, the Republican ones specifically, were mocking, saying we need to really gut the program, defund it, there's too much fraud, simply because they saw some people buying soda and chips. Not the healthiest thing, but America markets junk food consistently. I made a video on my Western Values playlist that America values junk food. Junk food is the staple American diet. That's just the way it is now. And so, to get mad at poor people for wanting to eat junk food while they're bombarded with junk food is absurd. And lots of people have made infographics where a salad costs more than a cheeseburger at McDonald's, you know. Maybe that's not the case now. I haven't been in there, but I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school. I was, a fry cook and then on a grill. That's how it was. So, there's something absurd about it all when you think about it. Now, notice how Allah is so merciful that multiple people get the reward. The woman, her husband, and the storekeeper. That's beautiful. Their reward doesn't get decreased. This also makes me think about how we are told in past hadiths that even if you can only give a date in charity, it's still better than nothing, or a kind word to your fellow believer. Food goes a long way, and sometimes you may have somebody who you don't know their intentions or what they're about, and so you think to yourself, should I give money, clothes, food? Don't ever underestimate food, but this also reminds us as Muslims that we should never look down upon food. Some people think, I want money so I can go buy shoes, or I can buy another stupid purse. Nah, never underestimate food. I recall when I had sent money in the past, doesn't really go well, but I bought my mom a bunch of food, like on Amazon has grocery, and so I bought her a bunch of food. She didn't seem too stoked about it, and I realized kind of how some people can be lazy and entitled, and they don't see food as that important. But food really is so special, especially when you don't have it, and when you see children who are going hungry, you begin to realize the deep significance and importance of it. I often think about first world heedlessness, where we have some beautiful markets, mashallah, with items from across the world, and we can sometimes forget how blessed we are in this modern era and just as human beings in general, to have a plethora, a smorgasbord, a buffet of items. And you have to take a step back and think, how do I remain with a mindset of gratitude? And part of that is never looking down on food charity. Because some people think, oh, I'll never be poor, I'll never need charity. But truly, plenty of people do. Plenty of people do. And this hadith for us can remind us that if you are able, give food. Give something to people. And that's great for people who are addicts, because you can give them food and don't have to give them cash. And then you're not responsible for them having another episode. And so keep that in mind, my friends.